Now, with due respect, I think there is one thing that needs to be made clear for an Ugandan without the support of FDC who wants to know what it is that is exactly happening at FDC. Now, Doctor, in your report, I had it really very well. It's really recommended for things like reconciliation of these leaders if they do not want to support the party. But the report was directly opinion Dr. Ageesigika. But we would want to know, because every time there must be reconciliation, both parties must have had somewhere where they went wrong. Now, these people would want to know where did Nanda go wrong, that he has to apologize or, if anything, reconcile with any of these leaders. Now, secondly, Doctor, we have had stories making the rounds on social media and everywhere of members being sacked from the FDC. Whoever is sacked them whether they have obligations to do so. What's your comment on that? Do you think it's a rudimentary method of solving issues? Instead of reconciling,
but he has answered both of those questions, if I'm not out of my recording.
No, let me repeat for emphasis.
Whenever you have issues,
let me repeat for emphasis. I have said I do not know who has been sacked and for what reasons. But we recommended that this document should be revised to clearly delineate the powers of the people who appoint and who sack. That is one. Secondly, where did the Nandala Mafabi? Mandala Mafabi, we told him it was wrong for him to take money to the party, to somebody who is not the party treasurer. Why did he take it there? The party treasurer, let me read for you what Ekanya said, because he was the party treasurer. Very briefly, Honorable asked, he replied that the sources of finance for the party have been shrinking and fundraising has also reduced. He added that the party is entitled to money from the consolidated fund with the approval of the Electoral Commission, its members of parliament, and the contribution. But he said that he did not know of any dispute between Dr. Besigye and the Honorable Mafabi regarding that money, though he had heard about it from social media. So that's what he told us.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether we translate it. It does it in Uganda, but it's not very easy to do it again in Uganda. Sometimes you can translate. But I wanted to
highlights.
But I wanted to tell you something in English before I go to Uganda. Yeah. The National Council, which sat down there, resolved that district where elections were not conducted should be conducted. They should approach the EC and they make a program to do the elections. This has been done. The Electoral Commission has given out a program where all elections in Uganda in FDC will end on the 18th August, where they were not held then. After that day, there will not be elections again until maybe 2029. All filling in positions. People have been asking about elections. The EC has its own program and we outed it here and it's still ongoing. Those who are not satisfied, National Council advised them to approach the EC. That's what I can report on elections.
Can you also comment about the sackings of some of the disciplinary?
Members of the National Council?
The suspension of some of the members, the secretaries, we saw a letter yesterday by the party suspending
I'm not aware of the suspension yet, but I'm aware of that the chief whip was replaced. You want bad words, you people of the Mandi, sacked, dismissed, which we don't do in FDC. For us, we replace someone with someone else.
Maybe the letter that was calling for some of the members to come and face the disciplinary committee of the party.
Yeah, that's.
Can you confirm that?
That letter was.
And the reason as to why, some of the reasons as to why these people must appear before the disciplinary committee of the party.
I believe all of you read that letter. If I'm not out, all of you read it. The president said in that letter that he will out the reasons when they appear before the chairman of the disciplinary committee. So the reasons, I don't know them even myself. Because the letter is written properly, that the reasons will be given at that point when they appear.
What if they don't appear?
If they don't appear, if you don't appear in court, what happens? Does the court run away or whatever? Second,
that letter where it was ending, it was saying these other people, it is the president who appointed them. They are